In Sacred Contracts, Caroline MYSS explores the concept of a sacred contract, an agreement made before birth that defines the soul's purpose in a given lifetime. MYSS invites readers to approach life as a journey of self-discovery, filled with opportunities to fulfill a higher calling. The central idea is that each of us has a set of preordained challenges and lessons, which are reflected in the archetypes we encounter within ourselves and the world. The book focuses on understanding how these archetypes work in our lives and how we can use them to navigate our unique paths. MYSS opens the discussion by proposing that life is far from random, it's a tapestry of interconnected events, relationships, and encounters that serve the ultimate purpose of self-realization. In essence, your life's challenges are not just circumstantial but are rooted in the soul's blueprint. Each of us has a sacred contract that aligns us with certain archetypal energies, and the lessons we are meant to learn arise from these archetypes. Whether you're familiar with the language of archetypes or not, MYSS provides a compelling invitation to reflect on life's deeper purpose beyond the mundane. The book takes readers into the fascinating world of archetypes, universal, symbolic figures or energies that shape human behavior and consciousness. These include the warrior, the caregiver, the healer, the judge, and so on. These archetypes are not merely passive traits, they are active forces in our lives, continually shaping how we see the world and how we respond to challenges. MYSS emphasizes that each of us carries all of these archetypes within us, though some are more dominant, depending on our specific life path. Understanding your dominant archetypes is key to understanding your sacred contract. MYSS guides readers through a process of introspection and self-examination to help identify which archetypes are most influential in their lives. This identification process is not just about labeling yourself, it's about recognizing the deeper patterns and lessons that each archetype embodies. For example, if you identify with the archetype of the warrior, you may find that your life is marked by themes of strength, conflict, and the need to fight for justice or truth. Conversely, the caregiver might indicate a life path focused on nurturing others and providing care. Once you understand your archetypes, the next step is to recognize the challenges they present. Every archetype has its shadow side, traits or tendencies that can manifest in destructive or unbalanced ways. The warrior, for example, might become overly aggressive or self-righteous, while the caregiver might become martyr-like or overly self-sacrificing. These shadow sides, according to MYSS, are not to be ignored or denied but are opportunities for growth. They represent the unfinished business of the soul, aspects of ourselves that need healing in order to fulfill our sacred contract. The process of fulfilling your sacred contract is a lifelong journey of aligning your actions and choices with your soul's deeper purpose. MYSS explains that our sacred contracts aren't just about the big picture, goals or destiny, they are intricately connected to the small, everyday decisions that shape our lives. Whether it's how we handle relationships, career choices, or internal struggles, every moment is an opportunity to live more in tune with our soul's purpose. By making conscious decisions that reflect the highest expression of our archetypes, we step closer to fulfilling our sacred contract. In this process, MYSS also highlights the importance of the people we encounter. Every person in our life, whether friend, family member, or foe, has been assigned a role in our sacred contract. They come into our lives to challenge, guide, or mirror aspects of ourselves that we need to confront. This idea shifts the perspective from seeing life as a series of isolated events to viewing it as a series of interconnected experiences designed to help us grow and evolve. MYSS also delves into the role of the divine in the sacred contract. She posits that our contracts are not arbitrary but are part of a larger, divinely orchestrated plan. The universe, or whatever you consider the source of divine energy, presents us with exactly the right experiences at the right time to help us fulfill our purpose. This perspective brings a sense of peace and reassurance to the reader, suggesting that even in times of suffering or difficulty, there is a greater purpose at work. One of the most empowering aspects of the book is the idea that we have the power to consciously choose how we respond to life's challenges. While we may not have control over the circumstances themselves, we always have control over our reactions. By choosing to respond from a place of self-awareness and integrity, we can align our actions with the sacred contract we agreed upon before birth. This aligns with MYSS's larger philosophy of personal responsibility. She emphasizes that we are the creators of our own destiny. In addition to personal empowerment, sacred contracts provides a path to healing. MYSS suggests that the more we align with our soul's purpose, the more we heal from past wounds and trauma. This healing is not always immediate or easy, but it is a natural consequence of living authentically and in alignment with one's sacred contract. The journey of discovering and embracing your sacred contract is also a journey of personal transformation, as it requires letting go of old patterns, outdated beliefs, and false identities. As part of the process, MYSS also introduces the idea of soul contracts with others. These are agreements between two souls that help them learn specific lessons. For example, you might have a soul contract with a difficult person in your life, whose role is to challenge you in ways that ultimately help you grow. Recognizing these soul contracts changes the way we see relationships. Instead of viewing them as random or unjust, we begin to see them as opportunities for growth, even when they bring pain or discomfort. The book's narrative builds a sense of connection between the individual and the universe, suggesting that we are not isolated beings but part of a vast, interconnected web of life. By aligning with our sacred contract, we are contributing to the larger collective consciousness. MYSS encourages readers to understand that fulfilling their sacred contracts has a ripple effect, affecting not only their own lives but the lives of those around them and, by extension, the world. In a broader spiritual context, MYSS's ideas offer a perspective on human suffering and the meaning of life. If life's challenges are seen as part of a divinely orchestrated plan, then suffering is not something to be avoided at all costs, but something to be understood and transcended. This allows for a deeper appreciation of the spiritual journey, where each struggle is not a punishment but an opportunity for soul growth. Ultimately, Sacred Contracts is a deeply transformative book. It challenges readers to think beyond the surface level of their daily lives and encourages them to explore the deeper forces at play in their spiritual and personal development. By understanding and embracing their sacred contracts, individuals can find a greater sense of purpose, healing, and fulfillment. MYSS's teachings provide a roadmap for living a life that is not only more meaningful but aligned with the soul's higher calling, allowing each person to walk their unique path with awareness and intention.